Dude, what's up?
Not much, bro. Just shredding some pavement there, brah.
Ah, bro, you thrashing, bro?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm just I was doing something. We gotta find another way to say thrashing because it's getting old and outdated, like breakdancing, brah.
Dude, I've got some great news for you then,
All
bro.
right, dude. I like good news.
So, I got a new way to say it because I just saw this new movie.
Ah,
It's called Gleaming the Cube, bro.
dude. What does that even mean?
No, it just means like everything. Like everything you can imagine is what it means because that's what it means.
Oh, that's so useful. It's like Smurf, but considerably longer.
Exactly. So it's like you know how like thrashing there was like lots of cool like skateboard moves
Yeah,
and junk.
it's like my favorite part of the movie, brah.
Yeah, well in this one, just imagine if there was also a murder.
Oh, like Scooby and the gang? Dude, did they have a van?
Yeah. No, but they have a Pizza Hut car.
Oh, Pizza Hut? I love Pizza Hut.
Yeah, they make your hamburger a beautiful thing.
No, that's another place, and I think they're Canadian.
Oh, wait, are they loving it?
Not at this point in time.
Let's all go to Pizza Hut.
Dude, you're thinking of it. They got like the $5 deal. You get one pizza and then you buy at regular price. You get another one for $5, and then another one for $5. Am I doing an ad for Pizza Hut right now?
I think. Are you being paid?
No, bro. It just came out like that.
Bro, it's just natural promotion.
I say, well, who's in the movie, dude?
Well, it's that Christian Slater dude.
Oh, from Heathers?
Yeah. Yeah, our
Okay.
favorite movie.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Winona Ryder. Is that, am I right?
Yeah, I guess he's driving the Pizza Hut truck.
Who they got? I thought it's not Christian Slater?
Tony freaking Hawk, man.
Whoa, from the Bones Brigade? That's awesome.
Yeah, and also Max Perlick is in it, dude.
Dude, that guy is on a meteoric rise, a trajectory to celebrity that is going to be unprecedented.
He's gonna drive. He's definitely gonna climb some cliffs, bro.
Right, dude. And man, I'm sold. I want to see this movie, brah. How are we gonna get there?
Oh well, it's no problem. What you do is just take the 105
Uh,
and you go down. Wait, wait. It's down at the other end of town. Do you not remember how to get there?
if you're talking about the AMC down on Paloma, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to take the Van Nuys Expressway over to Vicente. We're gonna take a left onto Peralta, then we're gonna hang a left.
When I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
And then you pull into the parking lot, and the AMC's right there.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for directing me on how to get to the theater to watch Gleaming the Cube in theaters in 1989.
I think it's really
86.
cool that a lot of the streets were named after famous skateboarders.
Wait, really?
Peralta, Alva,
Oh. Tony Hawk Drive.
Tony Hawk Drive. No, Tony Hawk Skate.
Josh Brolin Avenue. Famous skateboarder Josh Brolin. He did all his own stunts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a podcast called What Were They Thinking?
Yes, it is. We don't normally draw out the that much, but
I just wanted to sing song it a bit this week.
okay, that's fine.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan.
And we are once again talking about an extreme sports movie.
More skateboarding, brah.
Yeah. So, as you know on this show, listeners, you may know that whenever we talk about an extreme sports movie, we have to bring along an expert on the subject. So, please welcome once again to the podcast, extreme sports expert and lead singer of Gem and the Holograms, Jerika is here.
Oh my god, dude.
Yes, hi guys. Thank you for having me again.
I tell you every time, you can't tell everyone that Jerika is Gem. It's a secret identity.
Yeah, I kind of keep fucking that up each time. Oh, so Jerika watched Gleaming the Cube with us.
I did.
And we are going to talk about it. I don't know why I did that introduction.
Forever. We're going to talk about it forever because this movie is fantastic.
Honestly, I don't have a lot to say because I loved it.
I have so much to say because I loved it.
This is going to be a 9-hour podcast. Well, I mean, I think we should just jump right in. I love how it starts with that. I didn't know it was made by the Rank organization. And when that started, I was like, holy shit, I confused it with the Criterion thing.
Oh my god, can you imagine? This is the new Criterion collection with Roma.
It'll be fully restored and all the ADR F-bombs will be put back in.
Yep. Right next to do I want to watch Seven Samurai or Gleaming the Cube?
That's a hard
Gleaming
choice.
the Cube.
Yeah, right.
Is Christian Slater in Seven Samurai? I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not sure because I've never seen it, but I'm assuming because it was in the 50s, probably not.
Probably not.
It could be a Terminator situation. I'm not sure.
Oh.
So yeah, so right away I was like, I thought this was like, I felt like that line in Jay and Silent Bob where he's like, Miramax, I thought they only made classy pictures. So that's why I was a little surprised to see that opening the film. But then my fears are put to rest because that fucking theme song kicks in. And it's fantastic. I like maybe not every, but so many 80s movies have their own theme songs like referencing the title. Like even Armed and Dangerous had one.
Dangerous.
Right?
Yep.
Like even that one, which is kind of like fallen into obscurity by like for most people anyway. Like even that one had a theme song.
Yep.
But guys,
it was a great theme song. It was a great theme song. I liked that it like talked about the plot of the film, like when they say like gotta finish what you started, even if you gotta go it alone. I was like, this is it. This is laying out the plot in front of me. I know what's happening.
It's like somebody is giving you spoilers in musical form.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you notice who wrote this thing?
Who wrote the movie?
Yeah.
No.
Tolkien.
Michael Tolkien?
Yeah. It wasn't Lord of the Rings guy, but I'm assuming it's his far more superior talented kin.
I thought it was just a pseudonym. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings and also skateboard movies.
Well, he shouldn't have hid his light under a bush like that because this movie is fantastic.
Hobbits are great, but what if they had wheels under their feet?
You would get Yabo. Max is not a tall fellow.
Played by our least favorite character from Cliffhanger. I mean, he was up there.
Well, then he was down there because he fell off the cliff.
One of the punks that survives in Cliffhanger, the one that doesn't get shot.
Right.
But this movie starts off, ladies and gentlemen, with skateboarders just doing tricks around an airstrip, I guess.
Yeah, because apparently there was no airport security then.
Yeah, I was confused.
Well, this was a pre 9/11 world, so
Fair.
You can keep your shoes. I did think it was weird though that like I wasn't sure that I didn't think it was weird, but like I wasn't sure right away if it was supposed to be like a public airport or if it was just like a private airstrip. Like they also convinced their buddy to like fly them around.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it was I think it was more like a municipal airport, not a like international. It certainly wasn't LAX, that's for sure.
Would have been great if it
the
was
Latin American exchange, you know.
Oh my god!
With
Got it
Homicide and Conan.
Yeah, and Hernandez
Right,
and
Hernandez.
whoever else is in there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Wrestling
But
reference,
they
keyword.
Slater, Christian Slater, who I imagine Jerika fell in love with his look immediately.
I'm not in love with the look at the start of the movie, but when he has that makeover, oh my god.
Wow, really?
I got words
Yeah.
about that. I got
Oh
my
words.
I predicted that it was the opposite.
No, he's cute in like the gross grungy stuff, but like when he showed up in like the khakis and that big sweater, oh my god, I think I lost my
Boo.
mind.
Sell out.
Wow, so I'm already taken for a loop here. I don't even know what is what anymore. But I mean, these badass skateboard punks just stickering the fuck out of that plane.
Did you see the
Yes.
stickers too?
Yeah, the Tony Hawk sticker.
There was a Tony Hawk sticker.
Oh,
for
God.
Birdhouse.
They also are pointing out stuff, in which my first big laugh of the movie is one of them going, "Hey, there's my Pizza Hut."
That's not just anybody saying
That was Tony Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
It was Tony Hawk. So I wonder if Tony Hawk had a sponsorship deal with Pizza Hut.
No, but I guarantee you Pizza Hut had a sponsorship deal with this movie.
What? No.
I guarantee you he probably had a sponsorship deal with the movie as well, because they not only they put up the Birdhouse Tony Hawk sticker, they put up a Bones Brigade sticker, and then later throughout the movie, if you catch glimpses of the deck designs, some of them were like Tony Hawk skateboards from Birdhouse.
Amazing. So they're looking for a place to just, have fun, skateboard. They're looking for a big empty pool.
Yes.
Yes.
And they head
Which
to Garden Grove.
I have some questions about a little later, but we'll just go along with the timeline. So they've convinced their friend to fly them around their neighborhoods to look for empty pools or construction, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Which is
So-
absolutely bananas to me for some reason. Like, that's the most efficient way to find a pool is to hijack a plane. Good God.
Oh my god. Imagine if part of the plot was actually them hijacking a plane.
Paid for
Find
it
us
fair and square.
Find us an awesome skate park or everyone dies. But they do land in Garden Grove at this swanky house and
So
start
you're
using their
saying
empty
is
pool.
They took a trip to Garden Grove?
Mm-hmm.
Did it smell like Lou Dog inside the van?
I am lost.
That's a sublime lyric.
Oh, sorry.
Moving on.
Yeah. So, yeah, they go into this big empty pool and they start doing their tricks. Clearly, it's Christian Slater doing all of his own stunts, you guys.
Yep. He never has a stunt double in a terrible
Yeah,
wig
It's
ever.
never Tony Hawk in a wig, which you can totally see.
Well, there's shots where, like, he is almost looking right at the camera, and I'm like, they know that we can see him, right?
That is, yes. And, not to put it out there, but Tony Hawk has a considerably larger schnoz than Christian Slater does.
Oh, and he's like a beanpole in this movie,
Yeah.
too.
He's always been like that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying Christian Slater is like 400 pounds, but there is a definite
Yeah,
difference.
don't be insulting Christian Slater, okay?
Wow, Jerika is on the defensive right away. No, they're very different in body types.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, they're skateboarding around the empty pool, and then one of them fucks up and gets injured. Is it Max
Yabo.
Perlich that does that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yabo. Yeah. And then the guy who owns the house comes in and he's like, "What the hell?" He's like freaking out. And I'm
He
like, "Yeah."
lost his mind. He was like, "I gotta pay $2,000 to refinish this. Can they sue me? I'm gonna sue them. Can I sue their fathers?"
Played by a veteran character actor, Jack Riley. Loved him on Night Court.
Okay, you know who? I was watching this with Mariah, and she thought it kind of looked like Charles Grodin.
He gets that. Yep, they do look similar.
But we do meet Stephen Bauer, aka Manny from Scarface.
Yes.
I gotta tell ya, I had some feelings about him as well.
Well, I've got something. There's something big about his character in like the last act of the movie that I definitely have to bring up. But I'll wait till we get to there.
Okay.
But he's like a no nonsense cop. He's also kind of woke though.
He is, because when we see later on, he's like, he's going up against like a racist hotel owner who's like, all Asian people look the same, and he's like, no, they don't.
Yeah, I was like, good on you, Stephen Bauer.
Yeah, Golden Globe nominee.
Golden Globe nominee.
Yeah.
For what?
Scarface.
Oh, I did not know. That's cool. Good for him. I hope he wins.
Now you know.
I'm voting for him. Guys, let's start a Kickstarter.
To get him a
travel
Golden Globe.
back in time and get him that Golden Globe.
Yeah, we need to build a time machine, go back, get him that Golden Globe, and get his career running.
Okay.
I just realized that Scarface was 6 years before this.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, so Stephen Bauer shows up, and he's a no nonsense cop. But anyway, we see more of him later.
He sympathizes kind of with the kids, but he's also like, get your shit together.
He might hold the record though for a character that for the longest period of time doesn't believe the main character. Like it takes a long time for him to come around at all.
Does.
But so Christian Slater goes home, and his dad isn't too happy with him, and we learn out as opposed to find out, we learn out that he has a stepbrother. Adopted brother. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Vietnamese, and his name is Vin. He works at a Vietnamese anti-communist relief fund.
Well, no, he works
at
the video store. Yes.
Right.
But he volunteers with an organization that is anti-communist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, because it's like Vakerf.
Yes.
Yes, which is run out of the back of the video store.
Right.
Well, because the guy who owns the video store is, he's head of the whole operation.
Colonel Track.
Right.
Yeah. So, but we just got way ahead of this.
I gotta say that the set design for Christian Slater's side of the room was mwah. Oh, he had some sweet punk rock posters. He like DRI, the Cramps. Oh, it was a nice room.
I do like how it's very even. It's very much like divided in the middle too.
Yeah.
So Christian Slater goes in the room. Vin is there. He starts throwing stuff at him like, "You're a sloppy asshole." And then he ends up running off with his girlfriend Tina, who comes in through the window.
Yep.
Not the bathroom window, but
no, the bedroom window.
Through the bathroom window.
What song is that?
She came in through the bathroom window.
Okay.
It's a Beatles song, I believe.
It's a Beatles song?
Yep.
Like, of course you would reference the one Beatles song. I'm like, I don't know.
If it
Moving
wasn't
on.
the
Moving on.
soundtrack for yesterday, I don't know it.
That's all Jerika's been doing the last couple days, just binging that soundtrack
Yeah,
and Gleaming the Cube.
Yeah,
as
pretty
one
much.
does.
So, yeah, so they run off. And the next day at school, we kind of learned too that Christian Slater's kind of the black sheep of the family. His parents love him. Like I think his dad likes him. His mom loves him.
His mom really loves him.
But
They
he's an
just-
obstinate little twat sometimes.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
he's a teenage boy. But like the scene where she like buys him a helmet and safety pads and talks about like how she actually loves watching him skateboard. Like they seem to have like a pretty healthy relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. Even the dad, it's like I don't never get the feeling that he hates him. He's just kind of frustrated by him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, this isn't ideal, I guess, but he'll be fine.
Yeah, like it's a pretty decent setup.
I mean, he doesn't have to pay any bills, am I right? I don't know what movement I'm trying to start here, so we'll just move on.
All right.
So,
We find
so,
out that Vin works for his girlfriend's dad.
Yes.
And he's crunching some numbers, and he notices that something isn't quite adding up right. And the boss tells him, "Don't investigate this any further. We'll get someone to look at it. Don't even worry about it."
But Vin, he can't give it up. He has to know his true calling as forensic accountant. So exciting.
He becomes a detective. And he goes to a warehouse where they have some canisters, I guess, of like relief, like supplies that they're sending to Vietnam. I think that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be medical supplies. So he notices that a crate of cotton balls weighed 500 pounds. So that's what tips him off that maybe something's up.
And he's caught by the owner.
He is.
Who I believe, who is that actor? I wrote down who that was because he looked sort of familiar. It's like Mr. Lawndale or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
Lawndale.
I know
What
what you're
else?
talking about.
What
Just a
else is
second.
he
Continue.
in?
I will look it up.
Okay. But yeah, he catches them and he's like, goes from like, I'm the owner, you shouldn't be here, to suddenly they have him tied up in a hotel room.
And they are torturing him.
Yeah, they're torturing him with like a wet t-shirt, like twisted
Contest?
around or something.
Oh,
Yeah, they're strangling him and then
Yeah, and then
letting him breathe.
the dude strangling him is just like, doing it. He's not, I guess at first he's not trying to kill him. He's just trying to like torture him and make sure that he doesn't tell anyone what's going on. Colonel Track arrives at the hotel to be like, yo, you probably shouldn't torture that kid. Like, I'll talk to him. He'll be fine. And then they go in and they're like, he's like, oh shit, I just killed him.
He's like, I've done this before. I've had this happen to me before.
And I'm alive.
Yeah, and I was like, holy hell, Bobby. Like, what kind of life are you living?
it was Richard Hurd, the actor you're trying to, the owner of the warehouse, and he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Get Out. He's also in Shameless. He was in The Mule.
In The Mule. Okay, maybe I saw him in The Mule too.
Yeah, he was.
If you want to see Clint Eastwood have sex with two very young women at the same time,
No.
watch The
Tim
Mule.
Kennedy in The Mule. That's who he was.
Okay, so he wasn't the mob boss. Got it. So back to Gleaming the Cube and less about Clint Eastwood threesomes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm fine with that.
And back onto the threesome of me and Christian Slater and that cop.
Ow. All right, go ahead.
Let me just read this fan fiction that I wrote.
Okay.
If it's anything like the last one you read on our show.
It was a dark and stormy night. Oh yeah, there was Thrashing fan fiction, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Oh, I gotta find Gleaming the Cube fan fiction. Coming next week.
Yeah.
So they accidentally kill Vin in the hotel
Yes.
room. And
They hang him to make it look like a suicide.
yeah, which the poor cleaning lady discovers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally says housekeeping, comes in, boom, dead. Yeah. Oh, her scream is amazing.
Oh, I thought it was pretty good.
I don't know. Maybe it was maybe it was the way they did the ADR. I'm not sure, but it just like the facial reaction and the scream didn't come together for me.
Yeah, she did seem a little delayed.
So after this, I guess we skipped one of my favorite lines though. Is when Christian Slater's talking to Vin earlier, and he says, "I don't know." He's talking about like we're going to be dead in 30 years anyway, and he goes, "I don't know what's worse, being blown up in a nuclear war or having a 7-Eleven on every corner." I'm like, I can probably guess.
Yeah, because at least you can get taquitos at a 7-Eleven.
Taquitos.
Mm-hmm. And a slushy.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Slurpee. I mean, I'm not judging.
Yeah.
Get one of those collector cups.
Exactly.
Pretty sweet. Maybe some beef jerky.
Okay, now this is becoming 7-Eleven fan fiction. And then I went into the 7-Eleven and there were 7 different flavors of taquitos. So after Vin dies,
did you happen to notice what's like right next to the hotel where Vin kills himself?
No.
Disneyland. It's the happiest place on earth.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, like a sign for it?
No, like the sign for Disneyland. Like the hotel is right next to one of the big signs that indicate Disneyland, you have arrived.
Oh shit! Does that mean that Gleaming the Cube is going to end up on Disney Plus?
I hope someday. Because this is all in Anaheim and
original spin-off series. So then Christian Slater's dad goes to the school and tells him that Vin has died. So Christian Slater grieves, as we all do, by skateboarding.
You gotta skate those.
He does a lot of angry skateboarding in this movie.
He does. It's grief boarding, I wrote.
And then we get a lot of slow-mo in this one when he's skating out the feelings, and you can really see Tony Hawk when they do the slow-mo bits.
Yeah.
Like you said, almost staring right down the pipe.
Yeah, I get it if Christian Slater was like, yeah, I can't skateboard, but maybe don't shoot where he's looking at the camera.
And maybe get a wig that doesn't look like, one of those Halloween store wigs.
Just like a fright wig.
Yeah.
Would have been great if they just went the other way and just made him look nothing like him. But then
like
Christian
Kiss
Slater,
meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah, hey.
There you go.
More on that later.
Mm-hmm.
But then Christian Slater kind of wins everyone back over because he has the best funeral attire I've ever seen.
Oh my god, I wrote that he is dressed like junk.
Like junk?
Yep.
Dude, you just don't know. You just don't know, brah. You don't know.
I do know. He was dressed like junk.
No, you don't. You don't know. It's not about you. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Jerika has
conform.
very specific Christian Slater,
desires.
And
I'm not saying I don't like him when he's dressed a little darker. Like, he looked good in Heathers.
So just don't be all punk rock about it. That's what.
So what you're saying is you want him to be more formal.
She does.
Yeah,
Not
that's
me.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm attempting to confirm here.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Glad we can suss that out.
We got that settled.
Yeah.
Because Christian Slater has got to start his investigation, and he finds notes that it's written in Vietnamese.
Right. So he goes around and starts asking Vietnamese people if they can translate for him.
Before he does that, we have one of the most egregious Pizza Hut product placements.
Yes.
Because he calls Tony Hawk to see if he can help him, and they show him at the Pizza Hut. No, I can't help you. I'm working, and I'm not off till this time. Okay, and they cut away.
Just so they could put Pizza Hut in again.
Pretty much, yep.
But yeah, so as Jerika was saying, he's going around asking Vietnamese people to translate it for him at the Vietnamese pool hall.
Which, you know what? I don't see why a blonde white kid could. Yeah, he could just roam around Vietnamese pool halls and nothing bad would happen.
There's no racial tension in California, right?
Well, not even that. Just the idea of him being an absolute. What's the word? The Japanese have a great word for it. Gaijin.
Yeah, everyone's pretty nice to him.
Yeah.
Yes, but
surprisingly.
someone is there and hears him snooping around.
Is it Bobby?
Jesus.
It's Bobby.
Bobby knew, and he's like, he's trying to figure out what happened. I should follow him. And then Christian Slater goes to the hotel and tells the housekeeping lady, do you know who may have found Vin's body? And he says, because he's my brother. And the housekeeping lady is like, do you think I'm stupid?
I know, and I felt so bad.
Well, and I also just wanted to be like, just quickly say he's my adopted brother.
Yeah,
He
like,
adopted.
He never followed up with, yeah, he's adopted. He just like left, and I was just like, that's so sad. She's like, do you think I'm dumb and blind?
Yeah, she gives it to him hard.
Yeah, like tears in him. She's like, a kid died. This isn't a joke.
And then he could have been like, oh, racist. He's adopted.
Yeah. But he just kind of wallows in that.
Yeah, he just kind of sadly walks away.
It's like
sadly sketches away because he grabs the back of a bus and rides it.
Would have been great if he just lowered his head, just walked away, shambled away. But he does manage to get ahead of this guy that's following him, and he gets in the dude's back seat, in Bobby's back seat.
Yes, well,
And-
Bobby's making a phone call on a payphone, and so
Yeah.
Christian
Remember
Slater.
those?
So Christian Slater gets in the back seat of his car so that he can see where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Bobby was listening to a Vietnamese cover of Nowhere to Run.
Yeah. It reminds me of Life Aquatic when there's all those like I forget what language it is, but it's all David Bowie covers in a different language. That's like a lot of this soundtrack. It's like Vietnamese covers of like big rock songs. But yeah, he goes in the back seat and Bobby arrives and meets up with Mr. Lawndale.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's his name, right? Yeah, and somebody else. Oh, Colonel Track. And they're kind
Colonel
of being
Track.
like, yeah, what do we do? And Bobby's like, I want $50,000 and a plane ticket.
But he advises them not to give him a jerk-off hand job.
That was so amazing. Oh my God. I genuinely think that's one of my favorite lines that anyone has said in my life. Don't give me a jerk-off hand job.
I had to wind it back. I was like, did he say jerk-off hand job?
He did say jerk-off hand job.
That is this movie's no, you be there.
Yeah.
Oh man, that takes me back. That would also be line interruption. Oh my God.
Just
Dude,
inserted
don't
from
give
a
me jerk-off hand job.
No, you be there.
Oh my God.
Oh. I'm gonna start. No, actually, I probably shouldn't say
This
that.
movie
should
was
not
great.
say
That's
that, no.
peak comedy.
What's that?
So this movie was great. That's peak comedy.
Yep.
It is. Yeah, that's a regular Judd Apatow line right there. But during this whole scuffle, obviously there's some disagreement, and Mr. Lawndale, I guess he defends himself and shoots Bobby and kills him.
Really? Because I just noted, could you please stop murdering immigrants?
Yeah, really. I think like I don't know, because we don't see the actual shot. We just see Bobby get shot. We don't see like what actually happened.
Yeah.
But then he's like, "You saw him. He came at me with a knife." Which, okay, yeah, he probably didn't. let's be real.
Yeah, he claims it was self-defense, but
Yeah.
Lawndale is obviously the type of person who has no problem just killing people to get rid of them. So
I mean, he's also the person that keeps going, "Stop speaking Vietnamese."
he He is not having it. He wants English only, and he is not afraid to let people know.
Like at first I was like, okay, maybe if they're speaking to you, I guess. But then they were just like having an off conversation. He's like, English.
If you know what, he didn't need to be like that. All he had to do was listen, and if they said McClunky, he knew that they were going to murder him. That's how it works.
So topical, Nathan.
Just ask Greedo. If you can, because he's dead.
Yeah.
From a long ago, because it was in a galaxy far, far away.
Thanks for clarifying.
No problem.
So Christian Slater waits in the back seat. I feel like though he waits for everyone to kind of leave so he can get out. I feel like he doesn't really wait long enough though. I mean, I would wait till that car is way out of distance, but
yeah.
Somehow they still don't see him. He gets out and he quickly runs off, a skateboard in hand. And he brings the authorities out to come and find the body, even though he comes back way later. Like it's like nighttime.
Completely blackout. And then we also get one, like my other favorite line in the movie. So because he hasn't told the cops who Bobby really was and why he was following him. So he just tells the police that Bobby's a pervert. And the cop says, "You jumped in the back of a pervert's car? Are you playing hard to get?"
And he says to Scarface's brother, "If I had a dog with a face like yours, I'd shave his ass and teach him to walk backwards," which had nothing to do with anything at the time.
Which is ridiculous because that cop is hot as hell.
Man, Jerika had a blast watching this movie.
Honest to God, I did.
Sounds like it.
So you're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So at this point, he
goes to see
so they don't find
Yabo.
the body, obviously.
No, the cop kind of seems more open.
A little bit.
Like he's like, this is where Christian Slater admits that he doesn't think Finn killed himself.
Right. And he's like, well, okay, well, we'll keep our eyes open, kind of thing. But then he goes to visit his friend Yabo,
who has a pool.
Oh yeah, that's what you were getting at earlier.
Yes, he has a pool, and he has spray painted it / ruined it. But he has a pool for them to skate in. Why on earth would they bribe somebody, fly around Southern California, find a pool, and then go skate there when they have a perfectly workable pool at Yabo's place?
Nathan?
I was distracted by the fact that he lives in a nuclear bunker.
That's a lot of those out that way.
Oh, okay. Nathan, I've got an answer for you about the
is.
pool, though. I've got an answer for you.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second here.
Right. Damn it, Brent.
But yes, we do need to talk about the Fallout Shelter skate park. And the fact that there is a Gilligan's Island reference on it.
Well, yeah, because it's his room now, I guess.
I just think it's funny that a punk in like the 80s would have a Gilligan's Island joke on their skate park.
You clearly don't know punks then.
Yeah, that's totally that demographic, right?
Anything that is counter to the mainstream. And it's the late 80s. I don't feel Gilligan's Island would have been really at the forefront of most people's thoughts, so he's trying to be cool and interesting.
I mean, I guess, but it's pretty mainstream.
In the 60s, not in the 80s.
I think it would have still been on TV.
Maybe on, Nick at Night.
I don't know. I think it's weird that he has Gilligan's Island spray painted, but be that as it may. This is where we get the real mention of the title here.
Yes.
I mean, they did yell out "Gleam that cube" earlier, but this is where Yabo really starts waxing philosophical about gleaming the cube.
Yeah.
And I still don't quite understand what it means.
No, the best part was that he said 9 out of 10 people don't understand it, and I'm like, I am fucking one of them, Yabo. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I couldn't make heads or tails of what he said. And then, and he's telling Christian Slater like, "Yo, be careful out there. They're gonna put your face on a milk carton, but I'll see that they put your picture on a 6-pack of Bud."
Missing kid jokes are hilarious.
Right? The best. So
Now-
Christian Slater ends up going back on his detective mission to find where Bobby lives.
Yep. We
And when
find
he
out
gets
that Bobby
there-
subscribes to Jugs.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Don't we all?
Well,
And
we
he
did.
has just posters of bikini models in his living room.
And a totally sweet ninja poster as well.
But he gets there, and Stephen Bauer's already there investigating the place.
Yeah.
Which I was confused at first because when he went in and Steve Bauer was just kind of sitting there and Christian Slater was like, nice place. I was like, wait, is he at his house?
Well, yeah, at the first time I watched it, I must have like looked away, and then I would like looked back up, and I was like, he's at the cop's apartment now. Like the first time I watched it, I didn't get that it was Bobby's apartment at all, because like the cop is like doesn't have a jacket on. He looks like he's made himself right at home. He's just sitting on the sofa.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's like in his casual wear.
So the
Yeah,
only
he's
thing I noted here was I think he's pretty judgy for a skate punk from Anaheim. Because he's like, yeah, nice place, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we did see his room earlier, and posters be whatever. Never mind the posters, but I mean, it was in a bit of disarray.
Yes.
Throwing stones from glass houses. But Christian Slater does this little move where I guess he kind of pretends to get angry and swipes a bunch of stuff off the table, but then he secretly grabs a note that was there
Yes.
with
Yes.
a bunch of phone numbers on it.
And this is also another part outside of the plot where you can see that they went back in 80-yard stuff so they could get that rating down, because all the F-bombs are replaced, like, because the word fuck up is replaced with screw up, and you can see on their faces that they were saying fuck up, but they ADR'd in screw up.
Oh, and the one they did pick to leave in was particularly brutal.
Yeah.
That comes later. There's no way I'm saying what it was, but it surprised me.
It is a choice line.
Yeah, it surprised me. I don't even think, like, I know he only says it once, but the other words that he put with it, like, I don't know if you can get away with that in a PG-13 movie now.
Okay.
No.
Like, I don't.
No.
It was pushing that envelope. That
Yeah,
should be the sequel, by the way. Pushing the envelope.
Pushing the envelope, sequel to Gleaming the Cube.
Yep.
Anyhow,
So yeah, back to Gleaming the Cube.
He's doing his payphone detective work, and at one point he has to go back. He has to go visit the cop at the cop shop.
Cop shop.
Yep, and I just noted that that Rolodex that the cop had, my mom had one just like that. The 80s.
It is one of the few movies though where they don't make the police station look like a Hollywood police station. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like on certain movies back then, you see that the police station is like a fucking swank like mansion or something.
And what was with that fucking glorified extra waiting for his cue in the background?
I didn't notice that.
Oh my god, one of the cops who's supposed to be at like his desk, the whole time he's watching the exchange between Christian Slater and Scarface's brother. And he's just like leaning into it, shaking his head, coming back, like he's part of the conversation the whole time. And then Scarface's brother is like, "Oh, can you take care of this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Are you're talking about the guy who we learn later knows Vietnamese?
No,
Oh, okay.
not that guy.
Okay. But yeah, so he tells him, like, he even tells Stephen Bauer that, he has a number for this video store, which is also owned by Colonel Track, so there must be some kind of connection there. And he's like, whatever, it's nothing. And he shows him that list too, and he's like, look at all that. I learned that on this list, my brother wrote down that drugs are on there. And he's like, hey, cop who knows the language, come over here. And he's like, it's just medical supplies. It's a normal thing. And he's like, see, there you go. Nothing to see here.
So he's got to go skate away the pain.
That's right.
Again.
And he's good.
Oh my god.
Skate away the pain.
I think I would like this movie better if it had less skateboarding, honestly.
You can shut your filthy mouth, because that's what makes this movie love it so hard.
I like that it has not that much skateboarding. I'm not going to lie. I like that it's a skateboarding movie with mostly detective work. But it's at this point where Christian Slater is like, I think I'm going to go try to get close to Vin's old girlfriend.
Right before he has his graveside with his brother.
Yes, where he cries because he says he doesn't like doing his own homework.
Truly a loss.
Yeah.
And again, this is where he says, I'm supposed to be the screw up. And you could tell he said, I'm supposed to be the fuck up.
We did another movie with that too, and I don't remember. Maybe it was like, I think it might have even been Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh, that's a possibility.
But yeah, they're just egregiously bad censoring. It's like you're watching it on TBS.
Very much so,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he meets up with Tina, who was Vin's old girlfriend and the daughter of Colonel Track, because he's like, hey, if I can get close to her, I can find out what her father's doing, etc.
And all I can think of in this is, what about Yabo's sister?
What?
Because back when he went to visit Yabo, when Yabo explained to him that he was gleaming the cube, there's this little kind of nod and hello between Christian Slater and Yabo's sister.
I think she just has a crush on him. I don't think there's anything there.
Well, he is toying with her heart. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Christian Slater, you need to take this seriously.
Yabo's sister, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But she says we can't be friends because you look like a disgusting slob.
She says it in a nicer way, but that's basically what she meant.
Yeah.
She's like, my father doesn't want me hanging out with any American boys, basically. And he's like, okay, makeover, 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 makeover,
tears down
makeover.
that sweet DRI poster.
Oh, it just rips them to shreds.
Oh, my punk rock heart cried.
And this is when Jerika got on her feet.
Oh my god. He looked so good.
Much like a fucking sellout square. What a narc.
Oh man. They're just jealous because he looked so good.
Jerika's like, I would tell him all about my drug deals.
Like he cuts his own hair.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's when we get the Christian Slater shower scene.
I'm still blown away by this because I thought this part would have made you very upset.
Oh no, I was so on board. Oh my god. Honestly, I might need to watch this movie again.
He looks like a reformed former like addict or something.
Oh my god, he looks so cute.
Struggling day by day.
Like a reformed skateboard punk who just like finished up in AA or whatever, or the Betty Ford
fucking
clinic.
sellout.
The
fucking
first time-
sellout.
The first time his mom sees them and she breaks the glass, and then his dad sees him and he crashes his car. That's that's how different he looks.
I love that the dad crashes the car.
That was classic.
It's such like a cartoon reaction.
Yeah.
And
then he shows up at school and people like go hard against him.
Yeah, his friends are like, "What are you doing, man? Just rip that up. Where's your board?" And he's like, "I have to grow up one day."
Sorry, guys, I'm square now. Yeah.
Wow, we got two very different opinions on
We
this.
do.
And I'm going to be the moderator in the middle.
Well, I mean, I'm right, so.
Wow.
Looks like a fucking asshole. That's what he looks like.
All right, guys, to your respective corners.
Let's get it.
All right, are we good?
I'm good.
I'm
good.
You guys good? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yeah, he gets he doesn't get, although Tina gives him a second look at school because she sees, he's changed. He looks a little different. However, when Christian Slater gets home, he sees his dad watching home movies of
Oh my god, this video
Christian
of
Slater not
Christian
wanting to play
Slater
catch.
just hating frisbee,
Yeah.
just vehemently disgusted by frisbee.
I'm like, what? I think if filming this, I would have stopped the tape earlier than when it stops.
It does go on for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm assuming the mom is like, maybe if I keep it going, it'll turn into a heartfelt moment.
Neither one of you clearly have obstinate children.
It was his birthday, and so he doesn't want to play frisbee. Why does he have to play frisbee? I just find it so funny that like he was so opposed to the idea of frisbee.
Frisbee's just like selling out to the government, man.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's corporate culture. I got nothing else.
But then him and his dad have a real heart-to-heart.
They do. And he's like, remember you took me to Disneyland? I pissed on Donald Duck.
Which was great.
I said he should have pissed on Mickey myself, but...
I just want to see that scene.
But he was
should have been a
basically
flashback.
saying that it's not... I'm not difficult because you adopted Vin. I've always been a difficult little brat.
Yeah, and he's like, it's not your fault, Pops.
It's just me.
Mm-hmm. So this is at this point, Christian Slater goes to the fundraiser, the Vietnamese anti-communist relief fundraiser.
No, yes, he takes the boat there with his bicycle. What a fucking square.
Oh my god. You gotta build a bridge and get over it.
Gross. Selling out his principles.
So then he goes into the fundraiser and he meets up with Tina, and he also spots Mr. Lawndale kind of consorting with Colonel Track, and he's like, well, confirmed, I know something's going on now. And because I think he recognizes like Lawndale's voice. Because earlier when Bobby was killed, he didn't see who killed him, but he heard them, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, that dude's definitely evil. And this is when, this is my favorite scene, guys. Because this is when Christian Slater becomes MacGyver.
A super spy?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
like ducks under the alarm system?
Yeah. He goes into like one of the or he goes underneath one of the trailers on the site of this warehouse, and he puts firecrackers in it, getting a couple people to investigate, and he locks them in, and he makes a little propane bomb. And leaves behind a hat that he's stolen from Colonel Track to make it look like Colonel Track did this.
Yes.
Which I guess to cause some infighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to cause some dissension between him and the other chap.
It's like a Los Angeles Rams hat. So I wrote down like, because when Lawndale picks up the hat and looks at it, it's all out of context. The angry face he gets, it's like, son of a bitch, it was a Rams fan who did it. But Stephen Bauer is basically like immediately like, I know it was you, Christian, and it breaks my heart. And he says, that's it. You did it. I know you did it, and I'm not going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah, he says like the one person on the planet who is willing to listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's done
fucked
now.
it up.
Like address the fact that Christian Slater is clearly demonstrating sociopathic tendencies, starting fires and not taking responsibility for property destruction.
He didn't start the fire. It was
always burning.
God damn it, 2 weeks in a row, eh? Not in a row, but you know.
Yeah, to come up with that plan of like starting a fire and then causing infighting with the villains is pretty wild.
Yeah,
but
and this is like a 17-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Right. And then so later on, so Tina then shows up at Christian Slater's place because she's aware that some shit's going down, and she's basically like, yeah, my dad is in some sort of trouble. And then she goes, wait a second, why is my dad's lighter on your desk?
And he gives, like, literally, the lighter has Colonel Track's name on it. And Christian Slater goes through, like, the worst lie ever.
What does he say again?
He says he found it like at a pawn shop.
Yep.
Right. And she's like, the American ambassador gave this to my dad. And he's like, I'm going to explain this all to you off camera.
It's got his name on it right here.
Yeah.
And he's just like, nope.
I'm going to give this movie some props right now, though, because they do the whole thing where, you know, she catches him doing something like that, and they don't have the, like, break up and then make up later. They just have straight to, like, oh, I'm going to tell you what's going on, and she believes him.
Yes.
And immediately goes to question her dad, and he breaks down and admits it, that it was an accidental death.
Yeah.
And then he calls Lawndale to be like, I'm out. I'm not helping you anymore. We're done. So then this is where the movie really gets into the home stretch here. And this last act of the movie is fucking wild.
There is, like, he does some wild shit. He flies through a living room window on a skateboard.
Let's
And he
not
also-
get ahead of it, though. Come on.
Well, first Christian Slater has his midnight cowboy, hey, I'm walking here moment. Where he
Yes.
tries to skateboard across the street and he goes, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a big chase scene where he's being run down by 3 people on motorcycles.
Oh, shit, it's skateboards versus motorcycles, my favorite Asylum film. So I guess he does manage to get out of this. I feel like in a life or death situation, though, he still takes the time to do a lot of fancy little tricks.
He's always showing off.
Yeah. You gotta be a showman.
It's like, I know my life is really at stake here, but also watch this wheelie. And then eventually, yeah, he manages to escape. And then when he goes, you know, to speak to Stephen Bauer about it and explains to him, Stephen Bauer says, well, they claimed you said this horrible racist thing to them. And he just fucking says it, and it's woof. It's
it's a lot.
It's like
I wouldn't say like I wouldn't say a single one of those words really.
well, maybe the one F word.
Yes, I would say fuck.
Yeah, but he says
The rest
both
of it,
F
like,
words. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I don't
racist
like.
and homophobic at the same time.
Yeah, I can't remember like the last. Like it's a shocking line.
It caught me real off guard. I feel like I said, when you explained the ADR stuff about how they're getting rid of the F-bombs, that made so much more sense. Because like, I can see this in like a rated R movie, like this comment he makes, and that's why that stood out so much to me in this movie. I was like, whoa.
Just back the hate train up for a second.
Yeah. Whoa, Stephen Bauer. This is the opposite of what you did earlier. But he's also interviewing 2 of the bikers because they managed to track them down. And they think they're real clever because they're speaking in Vietnamese to each other. So he gets his translator in, and they find out that Lawndale is behind it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lawndale paid these guys to try and track down Brian.
And then as you said, Lawndale comes in. He actually enters Track's house. He puts a gun to Tina's head, but Christian Slater comes crashing through the glass on his skateboard.
Like he flies. Like,
Yeah. Maybe not even the wildest thing he flies with his skateboard at.
But I mean, okay, so that skateboard, the one that he
builds a special one, by the way.
Yeah.
yes, he goes to Yavo because his skateboard got broken in the chase.
And I don't know, the deck that he uses, the top, it doesn't seem like you would get the best traction on it. Because it wasn't grip tape. It was like it almost was supposed to look like the steel that you would see in like a garage or something like that. You know,
Or the movie Steel.
No, not like that.
Okay.
In a good place. And during the this final confrontation, he does get help from Tony Hawk and the rest of the crew.
Oh yeah, because they
Tony
show
Hawk
up in
Pizza Hero. They got a Pizza Hut posse. You guys can't blow past that.
they come in their Pizza Hut car.
Yes, and they're like
Uh.
cresting the hill like a fucking army going into war.
Interesting fact that I
Yeah.
learned on Tony Hawk's Twitter
Mhm.
is that he is driving the truck, but he is also one of the skateboarders
That's great.
because they didn't have enough downhill skateboard extras that day. So he is in the truck, but he is also skateboarding.
So they just like
Okay.
spliced him in.
Well, like you can't really see him at a distance, right? So like you only see him in the truck as a close up when they do that creepy like where he's just staring down the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you see like the truck at a distance, he's skateboarding. And when you see the truck close up, he's in there.
Oh shit, you guys. He's just staring down the camera when he's driving. So maybe that's just his thing. He's just like, anytime I'm doing any stunt, I want to stare at the camera. I mean, Tony, the whole point of stunt work is that so people don't see that you're not the other guy. No, I want recognition.
You pay for Tony Hawk, you shoot Tony Hawk.
And make sure you light my face correctly. Wow, Tony Hawk's a huge diva.
But yeah, that scene of like the truck, that shot of the truck coming over the hill of, oh my God, it's out of control. Like, honest to God, how much did Pizza Hut pay for this?
It's basically like Pizza Hut is to this movie what like McDonald's was to Mac and Me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
With
pretty
the
close.
placement, I mean, I feel this movie's considerably better than Mac and Me.
Well, no, I just mean like it's basically sponsoring the movie.
Right.
But yeah, so they the Pizza Hut posse, as Nathan said, they come driving down, and Stephen Bauer meets up with Christian Slater because he comes to the house. Unfortunately, Colonel Track has already been shot and killed by Lawndale in the scuffle. And it's at this point where, okay, I don't know what it was, but for some reason, Stephen Bauer just got really non-believable as a cop. There was something off, and I don't know what it is, but every time he pointed his gun, it just didn't feel natural. Am I the only one?
I noticed that he made like a lot of really weird faces as he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I noticed.
Yeah, no, it's almost like I was almost like, holy shit, is the twist in this going to be that he's actually one of the villains? And he's just like infiltrating the cops or something. But like, I don't know, it was weird. Just like his physicality just was off. I don't know.
Okay.
No, just me. Okay,
Just you.
that's fine. I'll take it. Anybody else out there, tweet at me.
If they
Stephen
can manage
Bauer,
to
get at
find
us.
this movie.
Yeah. Oh, it was a little difficult to find. That's true.
I had a DVD copy, so.
It took Jerika and I a little detective work of our own.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to a warehouse. We made a propane. No, I can't confess that on the podcast. Whew, that was a close one. But yeah, no, even like, oh yeah, the thing that first made me go like, oh, what? Why is he so awkward as a cop? Is when with the scene. Okay, so they're having this big chase sequence, obviously at the end here, and there's all those cars that are like in the way,
Mm-hmm.
and he can't get past them, and he goes like, oh, here's my badge. I'm a cop. Like the way he does that just seems so awkward. like he's hesitant about telling them he's a cop, so they move out of the way.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. Watch it back and
I
let me
will.
know what you think.
I will.
Okay. And then we get a cameo from a stuntman named Buddy Joe Hooker. Did you guys catch this? This is the guy that Christian Slater hooks onto in the red car there. He's
Yes.
also the stunt coordinator for the movie, and the way they show him, it's almost like they want to be like, "Hey kids, look who it is," but I don't think anyone knows who this
No
is.
one would know who it is.
No. But he even has like a cute little moment where Slater goes underneath the truck, and then they cut to his reaction, like, "Nice."
That was great. Like that was wild. Like in most movies, like the guy in the red car would like not be a character.
Mm-hmm.
But then in this one, Christian Slater's like, yeah, man, those people, you should join this chase now. And the guy in the red car's like, you're no way, you're right, I think I will.
I'll help you out, kid.
Yeah, let's get him.
So eventually he gets to, they do catch up to them. Christian Slater again uses a flying skateboard attack and hits Lawndale in the fucking face. And immediately, rolls onto the ground. He's okay, but he's got what looks like an infected heroin track mark on his face.
Something like that.
I mean, that did not look like a fresh injury. It's like that or black mold or something. Nasty. So he takes him out. Tina and he, I guess, are together maybe, but they don't kiss because this was like 1989 and they probably didn't want to do that. And then
also, what about Yabo's sister?
Forget about Yabo's sister.
She'll move on. She'll be fine.
She'll be destroyed.
It's an infatuation.
I don't buy it. No.
Besides, the real love story we learn is between Christian Slater and Stephen Bauer.
Honest to God, I wrote this down, and wait till you hear my haiku. There was some sexual tension.
Especially at the end, right?
Yes. I feel like in another movie, maybe one of them would have been a girl and they would have ended up together. There would have been a moment.
I would love to find out that it was originally written as a female.
They just the banter and because at first you think the Christian Slater Tina scene will be the end of the movie, and that's usually how movies end, the romance.
Yeah.
But instead it's Christian Slater and the cop being all buddy and having hearts to hearts, and I tell you, something's going on there, and I want the sequel. I want them to make the sequel right now. Mr. Robot is over. Christian Slater has the time.
But yeah, pushing the envelope, exactly.
Exactly. Christian Slater's middle-aged now. Well, maybe a little older than middle-aged, but still got it.
Listen, Stephen Bauer is still out there doing his thing too. Let's make this happen.
Yeah, seriously. What? Mr. Robot's done. Come on, Christian.
Yeah. What else are you doing? What do you got? What are you gonna make Alone in the Dark 3? I don't even think he was in the second one. So, yeah, they have their moment. They're very, very flirty. They're that Christian Slater and Stephen Bauer. And we get a closing credit sequence with just various skateboard tricks that are definitely not performed by Christian Slater.
Just a bunch of
while
random
a song called
B-roll.
Brother to Brother plays.
Yeah, which is not the same Brother to Brother song from Next of Kin.
But apparently has something in relation to the alternate titles that this movie apparently has.
Oh, what are the alternate titles?
Well, there's one, I think it's Brother's Keeper or something like that.
What?
I think there are two alternate titles, and I wrote them down somewhere. There is A Brother's Justice.
Oh, there you go. Sorry,
And-
Brother's Justice.
A Brother's Justice, and the other one is Skate or Die.
Oh, they should have called it Skate or Die.
I think they might have ran into some trademark issues with that.
Also, Brothers Justice could have been Next of Kin as well.
Yes.
So Gleaming the Cube. So Jerika, as our guest, I'll ask you first. I think we know the answer, but should people watch Gleaming the Cube?
Honestly, yeah. I think they should. I think that it was I thought it was a pretty decent mystery movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it a lot, honestly.
Were you surprised that it was a lot less racist than you expected?
Yeah, it could have gone pretty badly.
Yeah, I mean the 80s and everything, so.
Yeah. Exactly, the scene where the hotel owner is talking about how all Asian people look the same. That doesn't surprise me. But then having the cop say, no, they don't all look the same. That's surprising for a movie from the 80s.
Exactly. That was wild. That was the big transition into the 90s. Nathan, what do you say?
100%, bud.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this movie, I mean, I like thrashing, but this movie's got an even bigger place in my heart as far as 80s skateboard movies go. I first saw this on a late night TV on ASN, which was the Atlantic Satellite Network back here in the Maritimes back in the 80s and 90s. That's how old I am.
I think I remember ASN.
Yeah. Channel 13 here in St.
Yeah.
John.
Okay.
I gotta say, like, I liked thrashing for what it was, and like, you know how I feel about Josh Brolin, but no, like, this I feel like is a legitimately enjoyable film.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and recommend too. And like, I think I messaged this to you earlier in the week too, Jerika, as I was saying, like, this is almost like genuinely a good movie.
I honestly think it is. Like, I would have no problem. Like, I watched it, and I was talking to my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm watching this movie for, like, this crappy movie for my friend's crappy movie podcast.
Ouch.
And then they're like,
I'm just joking.
no, the crappy is on the movie.
I know.
And I was like, but I was like, I texted her afterwards, and I was like, I actually liked it. And I don't know how blinded by my love of Christian Slater I am at this point. You know, I have watched some shit for Christian Slater, but
Well, the ultimate test is Alone in the Dark.
like, I think that this is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's my bold statement.
All right. Well, on that note, we are going to take a break, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLUCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLUCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
What were they thinking?
And we're back.
Yes, we are back.
We're back from outer space. Just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Yeah, that exactly.
I should have changed that look.
Should have thrown away the key. Known for just 1 second, you'd be back.
To bother me.
Exactly. It is now time for the low haiku.
It's the low haiku. 17 perfect syllables to describe an amazing movie.
2 in a row, Nathan. So, of course, as we begin this segment, I would like to give our guest the floor to start off with. So, Jerika, if you have a low haiku prepared, please proceed.
I certainly do. A forbidden love between Brian and the cop. It's all I wanted.
Very good, very good. Yes,
Thank you.
forbidden love. That would have been quite the twist.
I'm still holding out.
That sequel is coming. Pun intended. Nathan,
Yes,
would you like to read your haiku?
of course.
Okay.
Can I gleam the cube? Scooby and the skateboard gang. Like Jinkies, Thrasher.
Very good, very good. My haiku stems from my confusion at the title. Time to gleam the cube. Wait, what the hell does that mean? Time to gleam the cube? Thank you, thank you. And now we will escape Boo.
And we're back. Hey, we're out of it. Woo, yay.
Yeah. Jerk, are you out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Phew.
Okay, woo.
It was pretty touch. It was pretty touch and go for a moment.
Yeah, my whole life flashed before my eyes. So,
But it was just all scenes from Gleaming the Cube.
it was, weirdly enough. My life began with this movie and it will end with this movie. Is that it? Wait, did I just threaten something?
Man, the Cube.
So on the subject of Gleaming the Cube, obviously the three of us all loved it, but what do we
Yes.
always say?
Yeah, I mean, well, we always say.
Don't take a word for it.
Yeah, but, they're probably wrong. But we'll take a look anyway.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair,
To be fair.
as we go to Rotten Tomatoes here, I do want to note that there are only about 7 critics' reviews.
Yes.
So, 29%, a third of them are positive. So, it is what it is. I feel like if there are more, it'd probably be a higher percentage. The audience review is 69%, guys.
Calm down there, Beavis.
So there's only a couple of critics' reviews. Let's read this one from Alex Sandell from Juicy Cerebellum. Just says, "Sucked then, sucks now."
I saw that, and I gotta say, I take issue with it.
It's pretty dismissive.
Who does he think he is? Shane Douglas?
It sucked then, and it sucks now.
Like, they're wrong. Man, I think it was awesome then. not having seen it then.
Yeah.
And I think it's only gotten better. I think it's gotten better with age.
There you go.
Well, Scott Weinberg from E-Film Critic, he was not kind either. Said, consider the cube dully gleamed.
Wow.
Dully
Meow.
or dually. I think it's dully. Anyhow.
Julie?
Either way, he gave it a negative. It was a splat, not a fresh.
Oh, Scott Weinberg. Well, shall we just dive in?
What a dick.
Shall we just dive into the audience reviews
Well,
at this point?
there's only one other critic review that's actually a typed review. Everything else is just scores. So, if you'll indulge, from Film Threat, Caffeinated Clint says, a cool blast from the past that encompasses as many sensational skateboarding sequences as it does cinematic suspense.
There you go. There's a positive one.
That's right. Heading out on a high note.
So as we go into the audience reviews here, Jerika, would you like to start us off?
Well, let me tell you, Rotten Tomatoes wasn't doing it for me on this one, so I went to a different website
Oh shit, Rebel.
where every review was complaining about the fact that the only version of the DVD is from Region 2, so they couldn't watch it. And and also simultaneously complaining about the fact that apparently the DVD goes for at least $200 on eBay right now.
Holy shit. Worth it.
So, yeah, those are the reviews I found. That they were all complaining that they tried it on their DVD player and their Blu-ray player and in their car, but it doesn't play because it only apparently is in Europe now.
Dude, just get a region-free DVD player. God. Get your shit sorted. Get it sorted!
Or do some detective work like Jerika and I did.
Yes, exactly.
So this one that I pulled here from Susan E gives it 4 stars. And I'm just going to read this like it's written. Original skate movie. He's just always, has always, is, and always will be fine, swag.
I didn't write this, but I can understand why you might think I did.
Yeah, whatever you say, Susan E.
Well, Stephen D. writes, a fun, underrated 80s film that Christian Slater does well in. Provides a lot of cool car chases and skateboarding tricks that most films don't provide today. 3 stars.
Oh, right down the middle. Okay. I forgot to write down who this is from and what their rating was, but I believe it's a positive review. But it does say Slater is a skateboard punk caught up in mystery and entrail. It does have a cameo by Tony Hawk, among other famous riders of the time. If you like skateboarding, give it a whirl. If not, rent Ghoulies.
Rent Ghoulies.
There's only 2 choices.
I would say Tony Hawk is more than a cameo.
Yeah, he's a full-fledged.
He's a
Also,
character in this movie.
Did you guys notice the scene where they call Tony Hawk? He has 3 phones beside his bed.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wait, is Tony Hawk like Commissioner Gordon?
One for personal use, one for Pizza Hut, and the other obviously for dealing drugs.
Wait, one is just for Pizza Hut?
Well, yeah.
Like deliveries, or
I guess.
He owns Pizza Hut, I believe.
He could now.
Sounds like.
Well, he does say that's my Pizza Hut.
Yeah, exactly.
Corey B. writes, "Don't be fooled by the critics' score, as only 7 reviews were done, which is too small a sample. Instead, look at the 70%, now 69 I guess, audience score out of over 8,700 reviews. This is a great movie featuring a young Christian Slater and wonderful supporting cast, including world-renowned skateboarder Tony Hawk, just as he was starting to make a name for himself. This movie is definitely worth watching. 5 stars.
Bam. All right.
Everything. The entire episode was summed up with that review. I'm just saying.
This review is from Accordion W.
Okay.
Yes, and it's a 4.5 star review, by the way. He gets a little off track here at one point. Yes, as a film, it is a sad stool sample, along with nearly all movies with sports themes. However, as a skateboarder, it is a cult classic that I can't bash, as I would say only The Strong, or whatever that anus movie was called about MMA fighting in high schools. I heard it called a modern-day Karate Kid. I threw up a little in my mouth.
What the fuck?
He doesn't like only The Strong, and he wanted to get that out in his review of Gleaming the Cube.
Oh, so rather than just say, for my views on this, see my review for only The Strong?
Yeah, no rabbit hole with this one.
Arif B. writes, "Christian Slater on a skateboard. Too cool for school." 3.5 stars.
All right. I've got one more here from Jordan Fall Forest, who gives it 5 stars. "I'm a big Slater fan, and he said in an interview one time that he was crazy. You know what? I'm crazy too, but in a good way. I support him. He is one of my favorite actors of all time. These new actors have nothing on him."
I also understand why you might think I wrote that one, but I didn't.
Are you Jordan Fall Forest?
I'm not.
Wait a second. Jordan, Jerika?
I was going to say they do sound similar at times.
Uh-huh.
Well, my last one is from Gabriel S. And he writes, "If you see only one movie with Christian Slater in your life, make it this one." 3 stars.
Wow. Any movie with Christian Slater. I mean, Heathers is out there.
3 stars. They gave the movie 3 stars.
Wait, what?
Yep.
So this is the one Christian Slater movie you should watch, but it's not a perfect score. Okay.
No.
But it's okay.
I mean, we're talking about a man who was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, guys.
Right?
He was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was Will Scarlet.
Oh shit. Wait, is this the Kevin Costner one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where Kevin Costner has a really good British accent?
Yeah, that one. You remember that one?
He has defended not doing that by saying, if you had heard my British accent, you'd be thankful that I didn't do it.
I'm pretty sure he tries it, though, from what I remember.
He's very clearly stated in interviews that he tried, and they were like, nope.
That's crazy, because I swear I remember seeing a clip from that movie where he's like affecting a British accent. But
I know there's parts in it where he's speaking more eloquently, but never once does he like, "All right, Gav, we gotta defeat the Sheriff of Nottingham."
Besides, no one's ever going to beat Keanu Reeves' British accent. I don't know why anyone ever bothers to try.
Yeah, seriously. Just give it up, guys.
Yeah. Best casting ever. So, I mean, I guess that wraps that up. Jerika, I want to thank you for coming on and being our extreme sports expert on another wonderful film.
Thank you. I'd been waiting to do this one for a while, and it was worth it.
Yeah, we talked about this way back when we did Thrashing.
We did.
Yeah.
I had said that if we had done this instead of that, we would have had an even more amazing episode.
Yeah, and that was like episode 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah,
or it's pretty early.
Yep.
Yeah. So now that we've gleamed the cube, guys, we should. Well, Nathan, actually, this is kind of different coming up next week because we're kind of hitting a milestone.
We are.
Next week is episode 100. So I'm not even going to tease it. I'm just going to announce. I think we kind of came to this decision together on what to do for episode 100. And as you all know, our first 2 episodes are kind of lost to time. They're on YouTube, but the audio is pretty brutal.
Yes.
So we will be redoing episode 1. So next week, we are going to talk about Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to revisit this.
Maybe your opinions will have changed.
Maybe I'll think it's a classic.
I think you might.
Ack. So yeah, not even hinting. That's next week. So get ready for that. And it's just in time for Christmas too.
It's our gift to you.
But yeah, so I mean, moving on. Let's get Montrose Monkington in here and to talk about some stuff.
Okay. Hello, it's your good friend Montrose Monkington III here, and it's finally nice to see both of you taking in some legitimate quality cinema in Gleaming the Cube. Good on you, both of you.
Thank you.
And you, Jerika. Hey, always a delight.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But as I said, I am Montrose Monkington III from Bananashire-upon-Hampton in the great country of England. And I am inviting you to check out my YouTube channel, Montrose Monkington TV, and then follow on over to Facebook, where you can join up with Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends as my Facebook group. And also, feel free to tweet at me using the username @Montrose III. That's the number 3 RD. Thank you. More later.
Thank you, Montrose. And be sure to gleam that cube.
I will. What does that even mean?
Just get on that skateboard. I guess you'll figure it out.
I will listen. Yes.
Okay. Montrose.
You okay, buddy? Medic.
Oh God. Okay. Well, let's get the medics over there. While they're tending to that poor fallen monkey, we should talk about. We should plug our stuff as well. So you can find us obviously on all the podcatchers, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, all that good stuff. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast. We're on Facebook. Just search for us there. And we're on Redbubble and TeePublic, as well as patreon.com/WWTT Podcast. And you can go ahead and contribute on there, just like our guest, Jerika.
Yes, become a patron like me.
Yeah.
So nice.
And I mean, yeah, so coming up, what day is this airing? Calendars, Nathan. Calendars.
Defeated yet again.
I think we're in early December. So,
Yes.
I mean, I'll just say in December, later this month, there will be another bonus episode. Not sure what movie it's going to be yet, but I guess I'll have to pick a Christmas movie for us. So
Stay tuned.
yeah, stay tuned. I got a couple rolling around the old noggin, trying to think of how much I want to torture us or not. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so I think that is it. So Nathan, again, first of all, actually, before we get to this, I do want to again thank Jerika.
Thank you so much. I was really enjoyed this one.
Thank you for gleaming that cube. So is this the best one you've watched for the show yet? So far?
By far.
Wow.
That stands to reason.
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out.
To this day, I always forget about rollerball.
That's called blocking. You're mentally blocking the trauma out.
You June Diane Raphael that movie out of your head.
It is mementoed. It is gone.
Actually, you know what? I don't remember a whole lot either, except for the weird filter scene.
Yeah.
But that having been said, Nathan,
Yes.
you got questions?
Well, I do, yeah, actually. I mean, I went with a movie where you have the star quality of a Christian Slater, and you get a known, at least in the skateboard community at that time, nigh legend in Tony Hawk. And understanding that you can get a guy who was in Scarface to be in this movie, and then also in a lead role. Yet, you take Mac Perlich and you put him as a guy named Yabo living in a fallout shelter? What were they thinking?
Brother to brother, where are you going? Walking a tightrope, get on or off. Fear of rejection is all you're afraid of, but that never stopped. You know it never stopped. You nothing ever stopped you before. I have seen you get through dire situations. From inside you, that survivor drives you.
I just want to make sure we have good levels for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Or if they're not, you can get the whistle and skip levels.
So I'm just going to. I get what you did there. It's a nice Super Mario Brothers 3 reference.
I think I kind of fucked up though. I think it's the
Was-
flute.
Flute, yes.
Yeah. I realized it after.
Okay, that's what my grandmother would have called it. So you know, you're
So you're
as hip as a grandmother.
As a broken one? Oh.
Hi, guys. We interrupt your favorite podcast to interrupt you with an ad for your new favorite podcast.
Wait, isn't this playing on somebody else's show?
Exactly.
So then how are we I thought we were their new favorite podcast.
Well, we're going to become their new favorite podcast after they hear this advertisement for our show. What's our show called, Justine?
Superiority complex.
Yeah? Where can they find us, Patrick?
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. You can go to @SoupComplex on Twitter, SOUP Complex, and you can go to Facebook.com/SoupComplex. But our main page is on Podbean, and you can find us there at www.superioritycomplex.podbean.com. New episodes are out every Thursday. Justine,
Yes.
what do we talk about on the Superiority Complex?
Nerdy stuff.
Perfect.
Don't get all sensual with your voice.
Yeah, did you hear that?
I heard it. It's a little inappropriate.
If you want to hear a little more of that, tune in to the Superiority Complex. One more time, Justine, what do we talk about?
Nerdy stuff.
Nah, wasn't
No.
the same. You tried.
It's time, let's check our cue, baby. Pair it with a couple brews, baby. We love good movies. We love the bad ones too. So we watch them all and pass their lessons on to you. Oh yeah. Everything I learned from movies helps to make life a little bit groovy. Whether one last plot holes or gratuitous movies, it's time to get busy with your friend Steve and Izzy at eilfm.podbean.com.